Hi, Bruno here. Welcome to Spainguru. The Beckham Law, how to pay less taxes in Spain as a foreigner in 2023. The Ley Beckham, formerly special regime for workers posted to Spanish territory in the law of IRPF or Spanish income tax, is a special tax regime that offers a better taxation for those who move their residence to Spain due to a job. The same Ley Beckham comes from the fact that the famous soccer player David Beckham was one of the first people to benefit from the law. Normally, under the Spanish tax law, individuals who spend 183 days or more in a tax year in Spain are considered tax residents. The Royal Decree 687 of year 2005 is an amendment to the law specifically made to attract wealthy foreign workers like David Beckham and top executives by modifying the definition of tax residency for this specific group. This amendment eases the tax burden for those individuals and makes it more attractive for them to move to Spain. Now let's look at the main benefits of the Beckham Law. One of the main benefits of the Ley Beckham is that salaries are taxed at a fixed rate of 24% up to 600,000 euros. Then it becomes 47% starting from this amount. And only income obtained in Spain is taxed with exemption of salaries. Under the normal regime, all worldwide income would be subject to tax in Spain, and higher rents may be taxed higher than 47%. Now let's look at the normal tax IRPF tax brackets go progressively from 19% to 47%. And you have the first bracket pays 19% up to 12.5k euros, second bracket up to more or less 20k, 24%, up to 35k, 30%, up to 60k, 37% already, and then up to 300,000 euros, 45%, and over 300,000 euros, 47%. So as you can see, there is a much higher tax rate that goes progressively depending on how much you earn. Note, it is important to mention that these are the Spanish income tax IRPF brackets and percentages that were enforced for the tax years 2022. However, it could change in the future. Check out our article, Spanish Tax Residents, an Expert's Guide to Filing Taxes in Spain, which was updated in November 2022. Other benefits, dividends, interest, and capital gains will be taxed at the rate that ranges between 19% and 23%. Additionally, the wealth tax, which is a tax applied to the net value of the taxpayer's assets globally, it is only taxed for assets located in Spain under the Beckham Law. This means that if you take advantage of this law, you would only have to pay taxes on the value of your assets located in Spain, which can be an important consideration for those who have assets in other countries. Notice that the wealth tax varies in each comunidad autónoma, and in Madrid or Andalusia, for example, it is fully reduced to 0%, but in Catalonia and Valencia it may reach up to 2.5 to 3.5% respectively of your declared net worth. Another advantage of the Beckham Law is that taxpayers are treated as if they were non-residents for tax purposes. This means that there is no obligation to present the Model 720, which is a declaration of assets abroad. This can make the tax process for those who take advantage of this law much more straightforward and less burdensome. Last but not least, the sale of assets or dividends abroad will not be taxed in Spain, something that foreigners who do not benefit from the Beckham Law must pay through capital gains tax. And profits derived from the sales of assets in Spanish territory will be taxed at a fixed rate of 19%. What are the requirements of the Beckham Law? To apply for the Beckham Law, certain requirements must be met. The person must not have been a tax resident in Spain for the last 10 years and must have a new job that justifies the move to Spain. Additionally, the person cannot obtain income through a permanent establishment located in Spanish territory, which basically means that the applicant cannot have a self-employed activity such as freelancing, and that the hiring company must be Spanish. All responsibilities and work tasks must be carried out in Spain. If some of these perform outside, they cannot represent more than 15% of the total activity of the worker. It is important to know that the Ley Beckham is an optional regime, and the tax agency will have to approve the application. which must be submitted with the necessary documentation. Additionally, it is important to meet certain deadlines, such as the deadline to move to Spain, to start work, and to apply for the scheme. In this sense, there must be a causal relationship between the start of the employment or administrator relationship and the move to Spain. The documents must be properly submitted so that the tax agency accepts the request, because in case of rejection, it will not be possible to be resubmitted. What is the deadline for applying for the Beckham Law? In general, the deadline is 6 months from the start of the employment in Spain. Documentation needed and timings. The taxpayers who want to opt for the Beckham Law must have submitted the 030 model and then present 149 model along with the company declaration. Later in the process, he will need to submit passport, NIE, employment contract, and social security number. According to the regulations, the tax administration has a deadline of 10 days from the receipt of the application. However, in practice, it usually takes 1 up to 2 months. How long can one benefit from this special tax regime? If approved, the regime will apply for 6 years, or 5 years plus the current year of application and approval by the tax authorities, although it can also be cancelled before. What are the disadvantages of the Ley Beckham? As with any tax regime, there are advantages and disadvantages to the Ley Beckham. One of the main disadvantages is that taxpayers who take advantage of this regime will not be able to apply most of the double taxation agreements, and social security expenses deductions are limited. Also, the person who opts for this regime will not have the right to the exemption of severance pay. As a general rule, the severance pay received by the worker is exempt from taxation. Similarly, they will also not have the right to the deduction for minimum of descendants or family. The deducción por mínimo de descendientes o familiares is a tax deduction provided under Spanish tax law for individuals who have dependent children or relatives. This deduction is a mechanism to reduce tax burden for individuals who are taking care of dependent family members, and it can be applied for each dependent person you have in a tax year. The amount of the deduction will depend on the number of the dependent children or relatives and their respective incomes. Are there other countries with similar exemptions? There are several countries in Europe with a similar tax regime, such as Portugal, the United Kingdom, or Switzerland. In conclusion, the Ley Beckham, also known as the special regime for workers posted to Spanish territory in the law of IRPF, is a special tax regime that can be very advantageous for those who meet the requirements and are moving to Spain due to a job. It can be powerful to attract qualified workers to Spain and offer better taxation for those who meet the requirements. However, it is important to consider the disadvantages, such as double taxation or limited expense deductions. Depending on the economic and personal circumstances of each person, it can be indicated for informational purposes that this special regime is more favorable than the general regime, starting from an annual gross salary of approximately 60,000 euros, and if only income of work is taken into account. If you're thinking of moving to Spain for a job, the Ley Beckham can offer significant tax benefits, but be sure to consult with a tax advisor to ensure you meet the requirements and to find out if it's the best option for you. This article is no legal or financial advice, and if you need tax experts, make sure to arrange a consultation with Spainguru recommended tax experts. You just go to spainguru.es and go to the consultations tab in the top menu. If you like this video, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and hit the bell button so you don't miss any of the new content that we upload to the video. And if you need expert advice, just go on spainguru.es. You will find immigration lawyers. You will find also tax experts if you need to file taxes in Spain and also in the USA. You will find also relocation services in Spain, apostille services from the US, sworn translators, and health insurances when you apply for no-lucrative visa, when you apply for golden visa, student visa, you will need health insurances as well. And we also offer certificate of good health for the UK residents. And also if you need to go back to the States and you need a health insurance, we also offer those health insurances too. And of course, if you want to be part of a community, please join our Facebook group, Spain Immigration and Residency Questions, spainguru.es.
with more than 16,000 members, where you can ask any single question related to Spanish immigration issues, and you can do it also anonymously. You can also join our non-lucrative visa group with more than 800 members, our Spanish Digital Nomad Visa group. Very important, last but not least, please subscribe to our newsletter. You can opt out anytime. We send this newsletter every single Monday morning, and we feature top discussions on our community and any news related to Spanish immigration. That's all for today. Thank you very much for watching. I wish you a great day. This is Bruno from Spainguru.es. Goodbye.